Ticats win their first preseason game 37-10 Monday over the Ottawa Redblacks at Tim Hortons Field. I'm here with the spec Steve Milton. Steve, as first efforts go, I think that was pretty good, especially from a quarterback that we'd never seen before. Jeff Matthews, 2 touchdown passes and almost 200 yards.
Well, yeah, let's not put him in the Grey Cup yet, and I think you're going to caution people about this all week. Don't be jumping too much on this wagon, but he's had the same opportunity that I've seen lots of guys that are already stars in this league play their first exhibition game, did not do that well as Matthews did today. He threw short, he threw long. I think I talked earlier to you about what I thought was a great play for both ends of the battery when Matt Coates catches the ball in full fly in behind here just a little bit, but it was protected from the receiver. It was an NFL-type play, a quick slant in, touchdown, but the ball was thrown so well, and then he threw deep. Of all the quarterbacks who played in the game, I think there were 5, he was the only one that went short and long well, and the only one I think that really threw the ball well long, and he threw it really, really well long. There's a lot. Again, we have to see what the other 2 guys do if they get a chance, but boy, he really got a leg up on that number 2 tonight.
The defense, I thought, played well as well. Didn't give up a point until the second half. Got lots of pressure off the edge, which I think, given the new rules on defense, pressure is going to be a key factor for all defenses in this one in particular.
Absolutely, because just to explain that, because the defensive backs can only hit the players or be on contact with the players in the first 5 yards. So that's when you really need to get the pressure on to make the quarterback throw in that time when they can be on top of the guy. If you let them go, then it's a foot race, and the tall guys, and the league's going to be full of tall guys now if they can find enough guys that are fast. And I really thought the defense, as you say, put pressure on the ball. And they swarmed. They also clearly, even some of the rookies or guys that are first to the CFL, fairly sure-handed tackling. There weren't many missed tackles tonight, although the film, I haven't seen the film, but you and I started to notice that partway through the season last year. We went, whoa, because it kind of snuck up on us. They were kind of making all the tackles, because one of the things about this team that's been a real problem for, I would say, since the last Grey Cup teams they had in the late 90s is unsure tackling. A lot of broken tackles, but the last certainly year, and maybe a year and a half now, we're looking at sure tackling, and you saw it again tonight, even from guys that won't be with his team in probably even 10 days.
Special teams, Quincy McDuffie with a touchdown return, had another one called back on a holding call. We won't talk too much about that, so it doesn't bring back too many bad memories. But overall, I thought special teams played well in the return game. Justin Medlock, 3 field goals, hit all his converts from 32 yards, another new rule change, but some issues you thought in coverage.
And it might just be the B team, Drew. I think when you talk to the guys and they talked about the A team they had in the first half, they thought the downfield coverage was really, really good. The second half, and I don't know how many changes they made, because it's really hard to keep up with special teams, and I don't have your skill at that sort of counting who's out there. There were a lot of balls run right up the middle, which I think both of us thought is what's going to happen here, because again, as in review here, class, the middle 5 people on the snapping team, the kicking team, must hold their positions within that line of a yard of scrimmage until the ball goes over. So that's about 2 seconds. Now, I don't know how far you can travel in 2 seconds, because those are pretty big guys, but it's probably, 10, 12, 14 yards or something like that. So that's a head start for the receiver. So there was a bit of stuff up the middle, but again, it was with the B team. I thought the coverage generally, when they had the A team out, was pretty good, but the returns, and that's only going to reinforce what I think these guys believe, and you can almost get them to say it. They believe they can score certainly every game, and I don't think that, it won't happen, but it's not crazy, because I think they scored every third or 3.3 games last year. They, on an average, they got a return touchdown. That's without the new rules, and they've got, in my mind, clearly the best special teams coach in this league. He's really, really shown it. Jeff Reinbold earns his money on this team. However much he's making, he earns it.
Next preseason game isn't for another 11 days in Winnipeg. We have a long wait between games. But overall, I think the Ticats got what they needed out of this game. I don't think they suffered any major injuries. They may have themselves a number 2 quarterback, and I think they got some evaluations on some guys. I think as preseason games go, and again, we're not planning the parade quite yet, this was as good as it gets.
Way better than we've seen even from this bunch in some time. And one of the subtle things that when you have a game like that and you're in the middle of training camp and you've only been there a week, it's great positive feedback Austin loves this. He likes, all coaches do. You want to win with what you're preaching so that the guys believe it more. And I know that was starting to concern them when they went to, like fell in a hole so many other years that, you need the positive feedback to show that actually what we're teaching is right and that it does work. And once they got that, look at the roll they went on last year. Well, you start the season with that. You know what? Now all of a sudden everybody really believes, and I think that just steps things up a little more. A lot of encouragement here.
Make sure you check out the Wisconsin Post blog as well as our news site, 3 Down Nation, for all the up-to-date Ticat news and news from around the league. Reporting for the Hamilton Spectator with Steve Milton, I'm Drew Edwards.